Look at that. Now, Disney giving their audience and their fans a sneak peek into a few new short films that they've produced. One in particular that's getting a lot of attention that you saw at the end there is called Reflect. And that main character is a bit rotund. You know, that's the big deal that surrounds this entire thing. And it's something that I think everyone maybe subconsciously knew, because other folks have actually openly pointed that out, but they're really bringing it to the forefront. Now let's look at a couple of images from that film where the young protagonist, main character there, she's a ballet dancer, she's a ballerina, but she's rounded. I love these pictures. There's another one from it. I'm looking forward to seeing this. So this film is called Reflect, as I point out, follows the story of a young plus-sized ballet dancer named Bianca who battles her own reflection, overcoming doubt and fear by channeling her inner strength, grace, and power. The animation has left fans in tears, with one viewer pinning that she wished the film had been made when she was a child. We're gonna get into why that's a big deal for anybody who can't figure that out. She tweeted, 16-year-old me needed this Disney short before I quit ballet because I didn't want to be the fat girl in class anymore. I'm glad little ones will have this. 10 out of 10 for Reflect. One more. In the company's 85-year history of making movies, plus-size characters have only ever featured in the roles of villains or extras. And fans are full of praise for this change. So people are gonna have to be uncomfortable, Ivana, with seeing a little chubby girl living out her dreams in cartoon form. Let's keep that in mind. It's a cartoon.
I mean, yeah, like I was chubbier when I was little, and I did ballet, and I can completely relate to that message that woman wrote that you read, because I hated myself. I hated putting on the ballet uniform. I was so self-conscious all the time. I would be in tears when I would have to get dressed to go to ballet. I just wouldn't want to go because I hated the way I looked. And there was there's some representation for chubbier little girls, and I, grew out of it. But at the time, it was all I could think about. And but when you're watching a movie, like they said, the representation for bigger people is usually as the villain or as like the dumb comic relief friend, and never the heroine. So this would have been very meaningful to me when I was a kid.
I was trying to reflect on that with the whole the more overweight or plus sized characters, and the first thought that came to mind was Ursula, Little Mermaid, right? She's huge, right?
Yeah.
She was mean. She was the villain. But then the crocodile, I think from the one where they're down in New Orleans and she went to open a restaurant, the Frog movie. Then he's the sidekick, but he's playing the trumpet. He's likable, but he's he's the assistant. This is the main character, which is the first time again that they pointed out. I was actually going to directly ask you if you dealt with this as a kid. People have different body types as kids, and then even the dancing part, you hit it on the head. This is specific for you. So when you watch this, let me know what you think. But there was some people that were upset about it. I mean, you could imagine that, as I point out, because it's a cartoon, and it might make some people that are usually pushed aside, demonized, demeaned, and made fun of, feel like they're worth something. What could anger people more? Let's watch. One person tweeted, "It's not okay to normalize obesity to children. Disney and their new short Reflect can go to hell." Jesus. They can go to hell because they made a film that featured a little chubby girl. Here's more. Another person echoed the sentiment, writing, "You wouldn't represent anorexia, Disney. Don't represent obesity either. It's wrong." And a bunch of hashtags. And they said, body positivity. Body positivity is a disease. I'm gonna say it one more time. Body positivity is a disease, is what this person said. Fatness is a cancer on our society. This is the norm. This is what they're upset that a film was a short. This isn't even a full Disney film. A Disney short film is challenging their entire lives so much. They're like, how can I call a little fat kid a cancer on our society if he or she actually has some kind of confidence in themselves? What's wrong with our world? Again, look at the full scenario and detach yourself from it. Who's the good guy and who's the bad guy in this situation, since we like to make it so black and white in this country? There's a good guy and there's a bad guy. Which one of these two scenarios do you think is the good guy? Just saying, just in case you guys want to assess that situation. And maybe I have a direct personal connection to this, Ray, because I told you guys I'd tell this. My producers know this because I've told them multiple times. I have a very soft spot in my heart for little chubby children. And if a chubby child is crying, is sad, my eyes well up. I can't take it. So of course, anytime anybody gets abused or demeaned and made fun of like this, I hate it. But we have grown ass adults who will go online and talk like this about an animated character that they hate and can go to hell because it's a cancer. What do they do when they see a real child? What if it's when it's their real child? Think about the names they call them. I hope you didn't have to go through that as a kid.
Well, you're not from adults. I never got bullied by adults as a kid, definitely by other kids. I will say childhood obesity is a huge problem in this country, but you don't combat it by fat shaming people. I promise you, people who are fat know they are fat, okay? Society will never let them forget. You don't need to shame them and decide that you know everything about their life, because you could be bigger and live a very healthy life and eat very healthy and exercise. And when you shame particularly children about their bodies, it doesn't encourage healthy habits to lose weight. When I was a kid and I was like extremely self-conscious about my body, I would just skip meals. I wasn't, no one was teaching me how to, exercise in a healthy way. I was, and a lot of kids do this, taking bad advice from the internet and just trying to lose weight in unhealthy ways. And another issue that we face is, food deserts in this country. People don't have access, especially children. They're not the ones buying groceries. They don't have a lot of choice as to what they're eating. So what we could be encouraging is exercise. And when you encourage that, it doesn't involve shaming somebody for what they look like, because we were just talking about how little girls feel discouraged from doing things like ballet, which is exercise, because of their body. So they don't want to go out and engage in these things because they're afraid that people are going to judge them. And the people judging them sometimes are grown ass adults. Mind your business. You don't care about, childhood obesity. You don't care about combating that in healthy ways. You just want to shame fat people. That's it.
I thought you were going to say many times they're grown ass obese adults, because that's also the case many times. Let's keep it real.